In the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, I, Bishop Tyatel, have decided to proffer to and bestow on Waldeer, Bishop of London, a small portion of land, that I might be able to cleanse the consequences of my sin and gain the favoured salvation of the soul from God in His mercy. This land of 50 hides in this place, which is called Fulham. On the edge of the Thames lies one of the country's oldest working estates, once home to one of the most powerful people in England. But its story started long before the Bishop of London acquired the land in AD 704. For thousands of years, people have settled on this piece of fertile land, historically called the Eights. As long ago as the Neolithic period, people occupied the site with their discarded ancient tools, telling their story. Then, millennia later, Roman settlers thrived as they were able to easily cross the river here and trade along its length. In the 8th century, Fulham was involved in a power struggle between Saxon kings for control of the area around London. Then, in the possession of the Bishop of London, the palace house and garden rose up here. The history of this site was shaped by the bishop, a key figure in the Church of England and one of the wealthiest and most powerful people in the country. A person whose duty is to God and the crown, with the ear of the monarch and shepherd to souls of the people of his diocese. Each bishop has left his mark on the palace and on British history. Bishop Bonner was responsible for the deaths of Protestants under Queen Mary I and helped to seal the fate of his predecessor, Bishop Ridley, who was burnt at the stake. The Bishop of London was Bishop of the Colonies. For hundreds of years, he was responsible for the Church of England mission in British colonies many thousands of miles away. Bishop Compton exploited his position by importing 1,000 plant species from around the world, making the palace garden one of the most famous in England. Bishop Porteous inherited a tobacco plantation in Virginia from his father, and like many clergy, he was the recipient of slavery-derived wealth. He was also an abolitionist. Later in life, he met here with abolitionists Hannah More and William Wilberforce as part of the campaign to end the transatlantic trade in enslaved Africans. Bishops Sherlock, Terrick and Hooley modernized the palace, demolishing the old medieval buildings. Bishop Tate commissioned the new chapel, and Bishop Winnington Ingram opened up the palace in the early 20th century, holding pageants and parties. He turned the palace into a war hospital. But he was a controversial figure, unpopular in his role of recruiting for the army in World War I. The bishops were joined by their families and a small army of servants and staff. The bishops' wives had a busy role supporting their husbands' works, but they had their own interests and identities. Louise Crichton was a women's rights activist, and Catherine Tate campaigned for the welfare of children and people in poverty. But after 1,000 years, the bishop's role in society had changed. By the 1970s, the rising cost of upkeep meant the bishops could no longer call the palace home. In 1973, the Bishop of London left the palace for a smaller home in the City of London. And in 2011, Fulham Palace Trust was formed to care for the palace and carry on the work to bring it back from disrepair. Today, restoration continues to keep the palace alive for generations to come, with discoveries of new information and artifacts and revealing never-before-seen areas of the palace. Whilst many of the buildings and gardens have changed, remember, as you walk through the palace, that every corner is a witness to history. we invite you to discover it with us. Welcome to Fulham Palace.